Hey, I'm right back with another video. It's 4:08 p.m. and it is September 12th and it's Thursday and I'm really tired. Like I went to bed last night and I got up a few times in the middle of the night. I went to bed in a pretty good mood. And then I woke up this morning and then I started, the whole thing just started all over again. And I'm not exactly sure what triggered it. It could be just because I'm tired and I'm just, when you're tired, you tend to be like the oh, woe is me type attitude or whatever. It tends to intensify when you're tired. I don't know. But, I was doing a lot of thinking today about, obviously, the terrible injustice that I had to deal with and the blatant disregard for my human rights, my basic human rights, and how people have allowed themselves to be deceived, whether they had some people did it out of ignorance, some people did it just because they enjoyed tormenting a person. It is terrorism, and there's a lot of religious groups that are indeed terrorists. And I'm not saying all Christians are terrorists. I'm sure there's good ones. Will say this, that when I look back of the people who claim to be Christian in my life, I've never really met any good ones. And it's sad to say because of course everything I've done in my life has been a complete setup, and I now understand that because my family has been involved with my targeting. So they put you through these little setups, like the people that you meet at work are all a part of their little network, which is crazy to me, but these people tend to look at their religion as some sort of ticket to terrorize people. And it's unfortunate because some people take spirituality seriously. And for those people, then that's great. Unfortunately, what we've just experienced as a community, as basically the entire country, and even more than that, throughout the world, have witnessed something that affects people on a daily basis. The issue of human trafficking, the issue of violating a person's religious rights, the issue of obviously that goes under the umbrella of human trafficking, when you're basically arranging people's jobs and then trying to set certain standards in order for them to help you get a job, even though I never asked them for their help, and I don't even want to be a part of that family. They set these stipulations and rules that they go against federal and state law. Somehow or another they have this ultimate authority. It's just this ego trip that really it seriously gets to me on a daily basis. Like, I'm always angry at their mentality that somebody would do something like this. And I know that when my sister started dating my ex sister and my ex brother-in-law, I know that one of the things that my father was concerned about was, number one, he was dishonorably discharged from the military. Okay, but I was young and I was somebody who was naive about certain things, and I didn't think that was something that he should have held against him. He didn't like the fact that he was constantly talking about church and Jesus and blah, 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 blah. There's nothing wrong with people who come to you with a sincere heart, okay? You know the difference between a person who's sincere about those sort of things, because it comes out in the appropriate time. But it was almost like, looking back now, that he used religion as a crutch. Like, let me use religion as a way of getting through life. He uses it to influence people. That's not what religion should be used for. Okay, obviously we've talked about this before, but certain people have these preconceived ideas, not just about race or religion, but just certain things. They think that one thing means something else. I made the example. I mentioned the example one time of when I was younger, for whatever reason, if I thought you were over the age of 65, I thought you were like the most legit person in the world. Like, you couldn't possibly think of anything wrong. Like, you could never hurt another person. All you did was sit around and knit booties for your grandchildren and bake cookies and read stories to children. That's all you did. It never occurred to me that people could be corrupt at that age, And of course, I know that's stupid, but that's what I thought, because everything in front of me, all the old people when I was growing up were nice people, and I didn't really know them that deeply to see any different. But the majority of my ideas about old people were basically on television. Like, you'd see some grandma and she's all sweet and she's in the kitchen and she's just like, got a little apron on and she's minding her own fucking business and she's just as sweet as can be and the door's always open, blah, 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 blah. And when I got older, I started realizing that people were literally running over my ass because I was ignorant. Like, I didn't know that there was a possibility that people did all kinds of heinous crimes, and it didn't matter what age they were. It really had nothing to do with that at all. Some people think that, I know there's people I've met in the past, and they were probably associated with my former family, but the minute you'd meet them, they're like, come up with this shit about, I'm a Christian, or if I ask them something like, honey, I'm a Christian, that doesn't mean shit to me, okay? It doesn't mean a damn thing to me, okay? You can go to church 7 days of the week, okay? You can live there, you can be a priest, you can be any member of the clergy you want to be, okay? But your actions speak louder than words. That's just how it is, okay? And there's a lot of people who use this to deceive people, okay? A lot of people do. And I think people were swayed because it gives them, my ex-sister Tanya, for example, she comes off as a Christian woman. She comes off as, she uses this whole thing about, me having a child out of wedlock when I was 22 years old, many years ago, right? Everything that you can dig up from when I was a younger kid, which when I look back now, I understand where all this mental and this damage came from, because these people have been triangulating me for my entire life, okay? They have been doing this kind of stuff since I was a kid, right? So she comes off, her mask is, oh, well, I'm a Christian, and I went to this particular university. She projects herself as a confident person who is concerned about her little sister. She's not concerned. She's a jealous fucking bitch is what she is, okay? And that's all she is. Okay, and yet people think, oh, well, then she should heed to what her sister says. So we're going to let her sister choose her jobs, blah, blah, blah. I don't want shit from that crazy bitch, okay? She's a psycho, all right? And that's exactly what she is, okay? She's a conniving person. I know that she sent an email to me a few years ago under the guise of being somebody else to try to trick me. If you're truly a Christian, you're not going to try to trick anybody. Okay, I'm just saying is that people need to wake up and stop believing that one thing makes a person, something, or makes them beyond reproach. Because there's a lot of people who have PhDs who murder people. As a matter of fact, I was thinking, now I know obviously there are some good nurses, okay? There's some people who go into the nursing profession because they care about helping people heal. They want to mend those broken bones. They want to assist that woman giving birth to their child. They are truly fascinated by this wonderful skill and the gift of healing. Some people are really into that, okay? Good, and kudos for them, okay? But I was thinking, if I was one of those twisted people, if I was a twisted person, what profession would I go into? Because some people want to kill people. They won't tell you this out in front, but think about some of these stories where people have been in hospitals and nurses end up killing them. Okay, now I wasn't thinking about anybody particular when I brought this up in my mind. I'm just saying is that people think, and in my mind, when I was younger, nurses mean help, right? A lot of people think that until you end up being, poisoned by a nurse, right? I'm just saying is, we live in a world where we can't trust people, okay? And what comes out of their mouth doesn't mean shit. If you can see a person terrorizing another person, and why isn't it that people around couldn't just see that this one was a jealous bitch? Because they were thinking, oh, she's a Christian. Her intent is to convert Maria to a better way of life. No, she doesn't have a better way of life to offer me. Okay, I'm an adult and I have the right to choose for myself. And I'm going to say, hell no, I don't want to be a part of that fucked up religion. Okay, she lets her husband run over her. She doesn't have any choices. She's lame, okay? And if that's what you want to do, you signed up for that, you go right ahead. You stick with that. You be enslaved by that fucking monster. That's your choice. You married him, okay? It's on paper. That's what you want, okay? But I didn't choose that. So how is this some fucking moron has the ability to sit here and try to dictate my life and dictate standards and sit here and spy on me and make people that, I could be warm and friendly to not want to have anything to do with? It's his social attraction. What makes Jim Culligan socially attractive? If it's a white skin color? Because I've noticed that does make a difference at times. Okay? And just because you're white doesn't mean that you have the rights to do or be involved with another person's life. Okay? I don't care who I'm related to, which thank God I'm not related to these people. I will never acknowledge them. I will not acknowledge these people as my family. I refuse to do so. Like I said, it's been going on for years, okay? But I have been thinking a lot about, I just had to say that. I'm just like, so I need to release, And sometimes I'm going to bring up the same stuff over and over and over again, and I'm going to go off and off and off and off and off on this issue because, it's like I can't beat the shit out of these people. I will not be able to beat the shit out of these people. I want to wring their necks. I want to break their necks. I want to throw them over a bridge, okay? I want to do all kinds of things, but I am not going to do it, okay? I care too much about myself to do that. But since I can't do that, I'm going to run my fucking mouth off for as long as I can. Okay, until I get out of the situation. So, yeah, it relieves me to a certain degree. But anyway, I'm trying to calm down for the evening. I get upset because I think of the years that have gone by, that I could have had enjoyment with peace of mind. I have never had peace of mind in the workplace. I have never had peace of mind in the workplace. Most people, they go in, they apply for a job, they go to the interview, they get the job, they go on with their life. It was never like that. Most of the time I would go to a job, sometimes it would start off nice, okay? It would start off really nice, and then they would start their bullshit, and there's been times where I literally walked into a company and these people were already starting their bullshit, much like the manufactured place, okay? So when I think of the abuse, and that's exactly what it is, abuse and terrorism, okay, which is pretty much one and the same, all throughout these years, you can't expect me to, just like, let me just roll over my shoulders and just not make a big deal out of it, not talk about it or anything. It affects my life on a daily basis, so no, I mean, I do respect people's religious views. I'm just saying is there's a lot of these fake monsters running around, okay? And it's my mission, my duty, my obligation to myself to avoid them like the plague. So I was just talking to my friend. I was like, I don't talk about religion anymore. I don't, okay? And I never really was one to talk about it anyway. When I was younger, I did talk about it because I was exploring myself. It's like, where do I go? There's so much information out there. And so I've made my decisions and I'm peaceful with it, okay? But I don't want to be dragged in. No, I don't want people preaching to me because I will just ignore you. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't. Because the sad thing is that all I've seen from these people who claim to be God-fearing is evil. That's the only damn thing I have ever seen from these people. And, I'm sure there are some sincere people. Okay, unfortunately, do keep in mind that most of the people that I have known in my life have all been setups from my family, okay, because they control your environment. They control who you know, what you know. They control the fact that the reason why I never got a chance to even actually meet up with Stephen is because they wanted to control that too. These people are monsters. Okay, I have no interest in following any sort of weird, fucked up religion where a man can literally walk over a woman. Absolutely not. Okay, yes, I understand that there's a certain order of things relating to the Bible, okay, but that's no excuse to dominate and abuse a person. All right, and I will not put up with it. As a matter of fact, like I said, I'm not married to that monster, and thank goodness I'm not. But now as an adult, I totally see what my dad was saying. I totally get it. I get it, okay? I'm not the kind of person, now when I was younger, I kept thinking, well, you know, why would you hold that against a person? I was always supportive of this monster. Even when, and believe me, my ex-family, okay? Nobody likes anybody in that family. I don't give a fuck what they say. They are constantly tearing each other down every chance they get. When you walk out that door, believe me, they're talking shit about you. Okay? Nobody likes anybody in that family. Okay? That's the way it is. All right? And it's always been that way. All right? This particular sister talks about my brother. He talks about her. Blah, blah, blah. It's never uplifting. It's never positive. It's always bad. Always bad. Okay? They only hate me more because I was the scapegoat. Because I was the one that was announced as, oh, you know, I was the accident and blah, 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 blah. And whatever, okay? And because I don't feed my face with Burger King and every other fast food joint that I pass by in the car. All right? And I'm sympathetic to people who struggle with that issue. I am. I'm totally sympathetic to it. I understand it, okay? But I'm just saying is they feel as though I need to be the target of their hatred because obviously they're miserable, right? So there you go. So they join together. They band together so they can hate me together, you know, because, you know, there's strength in numbers, which we know that that's bullshit, right? But still, they'll do it anyway. So, yeah, I'm just like, you have no idea how pissed off I can get about these people, okay? And there's times I'll be walking in the house and everything's fine, right? Everything's going really great, you know, and then I'm just like, it's all wonderful. And then all of a sudden, some bullshit will happen and I'll start thinking about it. These warped, ignorant, they are ignorant as hell. They are ignorant as hell, okay? They think that I don't understand what goes on when I walk out that door. These people are crazy. They're crazy, all right? To me, if I was jealous of one of my siblings, and if they moved away, out of sight, out of mind. If I was jealous, for example, if I was jealous of one of my siblings, which why would I be jealous of any of those two? But anyway, if I was jealous, or three, those idiots, why would I, after they move away from me, a distance from me, why would I care what they do? To me, it would be like out of sight, out of mind, okay? If I had an issue with this person, I'm not looking at them anymore. But these people go out of their way to set up all kinds of, you know, elaborate schemes to spy, to manipulate. They did that surveillance thing. They did all this shit, manipulated because these people need to feed on bullshit, okay? They have to do it. I personally think their hatred towards me is what pretty much bonds them together. What are they going to do now? What are they going to do? Who are they going to sabotage now? You know, surely there must be one of the grandkids that they can sabotage. You know what I mean? Crazy. Whatever it is, none of those people are my problem anymore because I don't want anything to do with them. I wouldn't acknowledge them if I saw them starving on the street. I would probably laugh and be happy about it. I really would be. So anyway, I had to say that. I feel so much better now. Not completely better, but I do feel a lot better. Okay, because I've been dealing with their abuse. And for years, I could not understand, why am I having a hard time getting stable? You know, like, why is it that every time I start a job, bullshit ensues? And they'll always try to turn it around on me. It's not my fault. None of this is my fault. I refuse to take responsibility for anything except for my personal things that I did when I was younger. Okay, everybody makes mistakes. Just like Jim made a mistake when he was dishonorably discharged from the military. Okay, that's a mistake. All right, he moved on. He doesn't talk about anything, but he'll make sure that he'll talk about me having a child out of wedlock and blah 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 and blah blah, all the issues I had with it in school. And the reason why I had issues in school, I now realize it was their social bullshit. You know, And I think about the years that these people have just completely abused me, and I just wish to God they would just die and get off the face of this earth. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. I think I've said enough. I think I said more than enough, okay? But what I needed to say was said, and I feel a little bit more relieved a little more relieved, okay? And so anyway, I'm going to shove off here, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'll be back with another video some other time, hopefully with a better mood. Bye.